On our phone is Marie, who is the teacher who was fired because of our hottest girl, ugliest guy married couple contest. Marie, I was just concerned about you and how things are going. How are you?
I'm doing all right, Howard. I just wanted to thank you for your support and giving me the opportunity to tell exactly how I was railroaded out of my job.
You were a second grade teacher?
Yes, I was.
And you came on our show with your husband. You were in a bikini. I don't believe you did anything inappropriate, but what did they say?
I did either.
No, what did they say you did wrong?
Well, I was on a show on a Thursday, and then on Monday I found out that I was in trouble. And basically they said that they felt I had violated the morality clause in my contract. Because
you were what, in a bikini with your husband?
And yes, and because I talked about having sex with my husband, that violated my morality contract. And they told me that if I didn't resign that day, they were going to work to get me terminated. And if I didn't want to resign, they were going to try and get my teaching certification revoked so I couldn't teach anywhere ever again.
Wow.
They were going to try and have me arrested and prosecuted for fraud because I had used a sick day to come down to the show. And
did you call a lawyer?
Well, I had a union lawyer who didn't do a very good job of representing me and basically told me it'd be in my best interest just to resign, and so I did. And then I finally, after that, I went and got my own lawyer, and I realized I could fight this, and when I tried to revoke my resignation, they told me I had 7 days to revoke it. I tried to revoke it, and they're telling me now I can't, so I'm going to take him to court. I'm going to fight it, and I'm going to use the money we won on the show now for my legal defense fund.
Well, I'm going to give you a bit of good news, and not that this is a fun thing for you, but I want to put Noel Biederman on the phone, the president of AshleyMadison.com, who actually sponsored the original contest you were part of. Noel is in Toronto right now. Noel, what news do you have for Marie?
You know, Marie, we were also kind of shocked that you were treated this way. You know, small-minded people tend to scream the loudest about shows like Howard's or businesses like Ashley Madison. So we thought we'd get together and give you an additional $5,000 to try and fight this legal battle that you rightly should. You know, when we conceived of this contest, I think we all thought we'd hear from some wealthy guys and their trophy wives, and instead we really got an honest-to-goodness true love story. And you were incredibly straightforward and honest on the show. You did nothing wrong, and I hope you do take this to the mat. And my guess is... Marie,
what do you think of what Noel's saying? I'd like to give you $5,000 to help you fight this.
Oh, I can't thank you enough. That is awesome. That's really going to help. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No, I think that's great. The $5,000 is going to be, well, it's going to come in handy. Lawyers are not cheap. And I really do think Marie, and I really mean this, I really think Marie should fight this.
Absolutely.
I think
she deserves her job.
I think people have a knee-jerk reaction to this show, as if you're on this show in a bikini, you're somehow a dirty, filthy slut.
Exactly.
Is it true, Marie, that your second grade class cried when they heard you were fired?
Yeah, I've heard that a lot of my students have had a hard time adjusting to me being gone. And, you know, nothing I did on the show, they would never have heard it. It wouldn't have affected them.
It's closed circuit.
Taking me out of my position is what has affected them.
They might have had a reaction if it was over terrestrial radio, and that would have been questionable. I don't know what parent allows a second grader to listen to this. But the fact of the matter is, a second grader, because our TV show is, is a closed service. Our radio show now is a closed service. You can't pick it up over open air.
Right.
There is no chance in hell that a second grader would see their teacher in this bikini.
The only way they could find out about it is to create a hubbub so that everybody's talking about it.
That's true. I mean,
this is what they've done.
I guess the school's best argument could be this woman shows poor judgment going on the Howard Stern show. But is that poor judgment? We've had senators on, movie stars on. We've had presidential candidates on.
Why don't they pay teachers more so that she wouldn't have to do this to further her education to continue her career?
We've had governors on. I don't even understand what morality.
And we have had a number of no good sluts on, but
that's true.
You're not one of them.
Doesn't everybody stand on their own? You can't paint with one brush.
Yeah. Well, Noel, first of all, thanks to AshleyMadison.com, where you can go cheat on your wife or husband, which is a really wonderful website, right, Noel? We love that.
Right.
Right.
But you can choose to join or not.
Well, I thought Marie's story was actually one. I think she chose her partner for the right reasons, and I'm hoping she's one of the ones who makes it through and doesn't need our service. I mean that.
Noel, I'm very proud of you. I think this is a wonderful thing you're doing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Howard.
All right. Noel Biederman from AshleyMadison.com, where, people in committed relationships can actually hook up. And Marie, what can I say? I hope you stay in touch with us. I really think if you had originally not resigned and fought this thing, that I believe you would have prevailed.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to fight it now, and I think I'm going to prevail this time. And, you know, I want to thank you for your support and letting me get my side of the story out there.
All right, Marie. Good luck with this.
Thank you.
Where do you live, Marie, again? Where are you from?
I live in Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
Are you working at all now, or are you just out of job?
No, I don't think I can find another teaching job now. My name has been spread all over the state in the media. So.
What a terrible thing. The woman is a very, very lovely woman.
Yeah, the both of them, her and her husband, real nice.
Who actually married a guy not based on looks, but because she thought he was a good guy.
The guy had swamp ass.
Yeah, his swamp ass, and she had sex with him.
Right.
And yeah, guess what? Married people do have sex, and Marie admitting that, I don't think is a terrible thing.
I think that's the only time it is supposed to be moral, right?
I don't think she showed poor judgment. I honestly don't. I really don't.
I think she was a lady the whole time she was here.
She was a lady. In fact, I was a little pissed. It was kind of dull that she was such a lady. Honestly, the segment wasn't that great.
She turned down my advances.
Anyone else at your school ever fired for morals?
No, not that I'm aware of. You know, they made me feel like a child molester. We've had coaches who did inappropriate things with their students, and they, you know, got treated better than I did.
I told that. Oh God, that is unbelievable. Could you imagine?
Yeah, well, what can I tell you?
I told the story on the air. My ex-girlfriend Dana was a teacher, and she was on our show for like a millisecond, and she caught shit.
Yeah, the camera just happened to catch her, right? She wasn't even trying to appear.
It happened to catch her, you know, giving me oral with topless.
Stop it.
No, she was just on and she did nothing, right? She was just
It was a
being your girlfriend.
quick shot of her and Beth. They waved hi.
Right.
It was nothing.
Yeah, they were looking to fire her, I bet. All right, Marie, thank you.
Thank you, Howard.
You might want to look for a job at Dana's school. Maybe they'll let you go. They seem to be a little looser.
Do you have a gun that you could take to Dana's school? Because you're going to need it.
The second graders there are dangerous.
Dana works in a school, put it this way, where on the Crips and Bloods initiation day, they have off.
So, Robin, what do you think about Marie? She came on the show, didn't even get naked, really, and she lost her job.
Well, you know, I don't want to be unsupportive. I think it's sad that she lost her job, but if she took a day off from work to come here, maybe there's a little bit of a point.
Why do you think it's so taboo to come on the show? Because
well,
this has
I'm not
happened
talking
before.
about it being taboo to be on the show. I think that's an overreaction, but is this really why you should take a day off from work, a sick day?
So it's just being unprofessional.
That's a little unprofessional, yeah. And so maybe she deserved a reprimand, but she certainly didn't deserve to lose her job.
All right, well, this did happen before, I think, on several occasions where girls would come on the show.
Yeah, but I mean, there is
with...
this perception that Howard's a monster and that this is the den of iniquity. And so nothing good could ever be going on here in some people's minds.
People just put two and two together, like a pretty girl, Howard Stern show, it could only be bad.
That's right.
But it's really not bad.
It certainly wasn't bad in her case.
And you don't think she should have got fired, right?
Absolutely not. Like I said, she might have been wrong to take a day off from work, but people don't generally lose their job for doing something like that.
All right, thanks, Robin.
All right.
You want to hear Artie's heroin stories?
Yes.
Okay. This is one where Artie gets into why he resented me and stuff.
Resented you?
Yeah. One time you resented me. Did you used to run on my face?
It was a very short moment. And
Mine only lasted a couple of days, and I admit it. It was from heroin. This is being dead honest. I'm writing about this in my book. There was a time...
Oh, great.
After... When Howard wouldn't give me the 3 weeks off for beer league, I mean, essentially I could have taken off, but, you know, in hindsight, I realized that, you know, he was probably right, and at the time I was addicted to heroin, I have to say, but I was mad at him, and I resented him. And that's the only time in the 7 years I've worked here I ever felt that way. And then we had a vacation in between, and I was dealing with the producers making a new schedule and everything, and, you know, strung out on fucking drugs. And when I got back, that whole, like, first few days back, I found it hard to goof around and joke with him because I really had a resentment towards him. It was a lot of that thing in me, like a little baby going, the motherfucker, it's just a few weeks, I was rationalizing, like, we got one foot out the door anyway. We might get, because it was 05, but the last year at K-Rock. And I'm like, of course, technically I could shoot it the way he shot Private Parts, but I don't have a budget, and I got to sleep on a cinder block. They built him a fucking apartment. It's like all this stuff is going through my head, and I had a real resentment for a couple of days, and I write about this in the book, which in hindsight is, I was totally wrong. I was being a baby, and the real reason I couldn't do it the way he wanted to do it, which would have been the right way, was I was on drugs. I couldn't picture doing both things in one day and
drugs
and still trying to score heroin. I thought maybe he'd go, look, take the 3 weeks and make the movie the way you can and then come back. But I mean, look, it's very flattering that he didn't want me to leave for 3 weeks, and it's great. But I wasn't being honest with him or anybody, because the reason I couldn't do it was I was on not only on heroin. The worst part about doing heroin is keeping it in supply, because if you don't have it, you'll get sick violently, which is what happened to me that week I was out. So I could only do one task at a time, I felt, and so here's a boss who had become a friend of mine who's telling me something that makes sense, which I should do, and a healthy version of me would have done, but because I can't admit to anybody that I'm involved with this awful, like, insidious drug that's ruining me, I decided to bitch like a baby about it and get all just a wah thing, like times a million, and that I didn't figure that out until I got on the Subutex and really got to thinking clear again that he was right, and heroin could have destroyed my life in so many ways, and the resentment I had towards him those first few days we got back, it was hard to have fun. Like, this show is fun. I like, you know what I mean? We joke around with each other. It's like going to a bar and fucking around with your friends, and I couldn't fake that. Like, if I really hated Howard, Robin, or Fred, or Benji, or you, or anybody who's on the show a lot, I couldn't fuck around with them and laugh with them. Right. I'm not like that. I've worked with actors I didn't love.
See, so Artie had resentment, but I understand it. But the fact of the matter is, I just felt, well, gee, the show should come first.
Everything you said made sense.
Right, I know.
It did.
It
did. Absolutely.
You were on heroin.
And
you were like, hey, how to fight. Meanwhile, I didn't know you were going up to Delaware to score heroin.
And again, that was hard to say, man. There was times I wanted to tell you that in person a couple of times about how, because even though I never told you that, I felt guilty about it.
Right.
And I told shrinks, a couple of shrinks who I've talked to like once or twice. I told Keith Abelo, I said, I mean, in 7 years working with a guy, if that's the only time you're upset, that's a pretty amazing thing. You've been so great to me, and just for thinking it, I felt guilty.
Yeah, it's all right. Everybody thinks that.
They don't. See, I know that's how you think. They don't.
Robin even resented me. She's still running and pound on my face.
Well, remember what time it was.
Just imagine my face was underneath her feet.
It was in D.C. when NBC had hired you and hadn't hired me. You could get a little resentful.
That's true. I understand that.
And I got over it.
Anyway, who knew Artie was running up to Delaware? What a horror.
That was the most amazing thing.
Really?
I think if you're going to score with heroin, just do it locally.
Yeah, make it convenient.
Listen to this.
Pure chaos. What I was doing was I had a contact in Wilmington, Delaware for heroin.
Right.
And I would do this became an average week for me, all right? I would get off the show on Monday, and I would just be starting withdrawals. I would drive to Wilmington, Delaware. By the time I got to Wilmington, Delaware, I'd go to this place where I designated to meet this guy, who was a friend of a friend. I got a number from somebody, and I'd wait for this guy. And there were a lot of times where he got to me just in time where I was starting to turn green. Like I was in like an alleyway in Wilmington, Delaware, And I'm going, if this guy doesn't get here or blows me off, I'm going to have to go to an emergency room in Delaware, you know. And he would bring me like a couple of bags or whatever he had. And anyone who knows drug dealers, they're not reliable. There were times he blew me off. There were times where...
Can you imagine driving all the way to Delaware to score and then your dealer doesn't show up to Delaware?
I would just... If I ever got a hold of him, I'd kill him.
That happened.
It's a 2-hour drive there and 2 hours back.
In the 4 months I was doing that on a regular basis, that probably happened about 4 or 5 times.
Wow.
And then what do? You never went to an emergency room.
Well, what happened? Well,
here he explains.
Just didn't show up, and I kept calling him. And after a couple hours, I had to leave. Then I had to go buy Vicodin from another guy just to stop the withdrawals from happening.
Oh no!
Eat enough Vicodin, which was getting to be like 30, 35 of them a day, just to stop the withdrawals, and then go to work the next day. Call the guy during a break at work and say, "Look, you blew me off yesterday. What the fuck happened?" He goes, "I'm sorry. I'll definitely be there today." Tuesday, go back to Wilmington, Delaware. This is all why they're setting up a fucking production office for Beer League, the movie that I wrote and I'm going to star in. And they're like rehearsing. And I would get there, and then maybe he'd have a couple of dime bags or something, and that would get me through a couple of days snorting it. If I got, that's the other thing. He didn't always have what he said he'd have.
No wonder you were always exhausted, though. You drove to Delaware, then you'd show up for the movie.
No. The
movie
right,
wasn't
but I mean, they were rehearsing. I mean, he should have been there for that.
I blew off all of that.
Yeah.
Well, I did.
He blew off rehearsal.
I did, yeah.
And he's the star.
Right.
Yeah, you were really acting like a star.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, you would have thought he'd already had 50 hit movies.
I was acting like a star on Heroin.
Who are you, Nicholson?
Well, listen.
I can blow it
watch. I talk about talking to the money guys was like insane. Sometimes he had less. Sometimes, most of the times he had less. If I got what I considered a normal pickup was a normal amount, it would last me for 3 days. My rationalization would be I would leave right after the show, and I could get there by like 1:30, 2 o'clock, get home and be high and comfortable by 5:36.
How the fuck did you get up for work?
Well, a lot of times I would just stay high the whole night because it lasts, and I would come right into work. And then there were, and then there were days where I went so hard I'd get back from work. I get and sleep until the next day. If I didn't have a gig on the weekend, I would sleep sometimes the whole weekend because I didn't. When you're asleep, you don't really notice the withdrawals.
Right.
But then I'd wake up in hell. Like I'd wake up on say like Sunday morning at 3 after sleeping for 40 hours, and I would be. It's like growing up. It's like waking up in a nightmare because now I'm in the middle of withdrawal.
Wow. What a nightmare!
Ugh, I can't even imagine.
What's this clip? You thought about shooting heroin?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It's funny. I was on the road. I was with
that'll
Dana
make it better.
in Dallas doing a gig, and that was the only weekend I considered shooting it because I had to get through a plane ride, and I had to get through this dinner with her and this signing and this stand up without and I didn't feel I had enough, and I considered.
Why would shooting it you take less?
I was
does it
told.
make it last longer?
I was told if you shoot it, the high lasts like 12 hours at least.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
and probably less heroin is used.
No, because you got to cook it.
Ah.
So you're burning it up? Okay.
I see.
Right.
Oof.
God.
Let's see. Heroin cost Artie Dana, but not his career.
Well, how did she find out?
Well, she found out. No one knew except me, the guy in Delaware, and everyone else found out when I admitted it on the show.
Even
so
Dana?
she didn't know.
Dana found out about it when I said it on the show. Sure.
Wow.
I knew a guy who I knew could get coke, and I asked him for a number. And he gave me a number, and he said, "This guy is, it's not street shit. It'll be better shit." And he thought it would be more of a short-term thing, but it was complete chaos. It was such chaos. And then, of course, in that entire thing, who gets completely squeezed out is Dana.
Right.
And I couldn't tell her anything, and she just thought I met somebody else or something. She never saw
so
me.
that's what happened. She thought when you were gone.
You did. You met Lady H.
Yeah, you had a new girlfriend.
without reason.
China wife.
For hours on end.
Right, exactly. She was like, on the week, if I didn't have a gig on the weekend and she didn't come with me, I would stay in, and I couldn't go out. I was blowing her off, and she thought I was having some sort of affair.
So is that why you would always call her and propose just to keep her happy?
No, that was before this.
Oh.
That was just when I was drinking.
Oh.
something. And, that was the start of it. That's why the day I admitted to the heroin on the air, I listened to that again, and it's what really choked me up was thinking about. The Dana was one of the things that cost me in my life. It's so weird how, I kept a career, but I lost heart. You know what I mean?
So your career was annoying, but your personal life was a 2. Right. Wolf, my career is annoying.
No, everything was a 2.
But I have no one to share it with, so my personal life is a 2. Oh, yeah, everything was a 2.
Everything was a 2 at that point.
You didn't even have any noins.
It's like, what's more important? I don't know. I have very crazy feelings about it.
Yeah, but the career isn't what cost you her.
No, but I'm saying, in other words, I remember thinking to myself when I was in the middle of that shit, something dear to me is going to go by the wayside. And it's funny how, especially in this country.
Smart making it a chick over your career, though. You know what I mean?
Well,
make sure you lose the chick and not the career.
Well, listen to what I say.
You can always get another chick as long as you have a career.
Well, this is what I say. We're hooked up. It's like you'll do anything to keep your job. And then the people that suffer are your family. They're human beings. You figure they'll give you some leeway, and you end up shitting all over them. A career is a thing. Like, it doesn't care about you. It keeps coming and coming and coming. It's an entity with no feelings or anything. Like a girlfriend is someone who you think they'll give you this unconditional love, and that goes too far, and you end up just shitting all over them, and then they can't take it anymore. So that's what happened. Heroin, I lost something because of it, but it wasn't the job. It was this woman who I loved.
Aren't you grateful to heroin in a way because you're getting so much pussy now? As much as you love Dana, I mean, you're having a lot of fun right now, right?
I don't know if I'm getting enough pussy to have gone through going to Delaware.
So the reason you didn't go up to Harlem to score, let's say, or one of these areas, because you were afraid you would be spotted or seen by fans?
No. Well, no, because I found out we have a lot of fans in Wilmington.
Oh, you saw them up there, too?
Yeah, but no, what it was I didn't have any, really good connection for heroin. And I feared scoring it on the street. I did that with coke a couple of times, and it's just awful. You're snorting
you don't know what you're snorting.
Gunpowder,
Right.
And so I called this guy.
You trusted this guy to a degree.
I called this guy, and he said to me, he goes, look, I know someone. He's a little bit out of town, but he gets good stuff.
He's in another country.
And I thought he was going to say, he's in Newark.
Right.
He said, he was the only guy I knew. I wasn't about to go fishing and I didn't plan on it lasting that long.
I mean, you were
didn't
commuting.
Plan on it. Yeah.
You were commuting 4 hours every 3 days.
Right.
Wow.
And I didn't plan on it lasting forever. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, it didn't last forever, but I didn't plan on it lasting 4 or 5 months. I planned on.
Thank God you're out of that.
When was the time that you did it? What was it? What was going on then? What got you started?
He told us he was on the road, and then he started to think he needed.
No, but I want to I don't remember.
All right, what happened? Basically, when It's the Whiskey Talking came out, I committed to a 6-month-long sort of mini tour of doing DVD signings.
And then he went to the
stand-up.
clubs and he got all fucked up.
And on the road, that schedule became crazy. And on the road, I started taking, on the road, people give you shit. I took a Vicodin here to help me go to sleep at the hotel, get through the plane ride. That bled into my regular week.
And one of the comedy club dudes said to him,
I can get you. He wanted Coke, and they said,
No, I wanted like
100.
Vicodin. I asked for 100 Percocet or
He said, instead of taking Percocet, why don't you just take a nice Tootski? And,
what he said was, the name of that chapter in the book is exactly what this guy said to me. He said, dead serious, he said, listen, heroin's better for your liver.
Artie's way into his liver.
Oh, my God.
Well, someone's got to be into it.
Let me get Steve Langford in here, who's got some news for us. It's time for us to get the news. I didn't realize how late we'd gone.
There's something about that wrap-up show, man. There's something in that air that makes you babble.
Yeah, I know. You really get into it.
It's like a confessional for you.
Yeah.
Let's say, Steve Langford, do you have any information that we need to know?
Just some of the stories we're working on in the Howard 100 newsroom. The Jim Florentine hotline, a far cry from the days when Mr. Robin Quivers was in virtual hiding. Florentine now advertising a phone number you can call him at, featuring updates from the road and the opportunity to leave Jim a message. Florentine admitting he gets plenty of calls about Robin.
What? He has a phone number set up so people can ask him questions?
No, he doesn't have a phone number so people can ask him questions. You can call and leave a question or a comment.
But what is this?
It's a way of advertising his shows.
You support him in this idea?
What do I know?
Boy, you're like
he can have it's his career.
Howard, don't you love that Robin even knows what it is?
Yeah, I can't even believe.
Well, how could I not know?
I bet you they're laying in bed and Jim goes, I got this idea, I got this phone number. When does he discuss this shit with? How do you even know about this?
No, he'll tell me what he's doing. So I had a meeting today with some guys about this phone line.
Remember how you used to zone out when Jackie talked about 516-922-WINE?
Yeah.
Now you're all ears for this.
Robin, do you ever appear on these phone messages?
No.
No.
Wait a minute. You know what? If you're going to make fun of Jim, you might have to make fun of me soon, because I guarantee I had a meeting about this.
See?
But I think it's funny that Robin knows about it.
Why wouldn't I know? Doesn't Beth know what you're up to?
Yeah, but it's just fun.
It's fun.
That you know what Jim.
It's fun.
Do you know that what's going on in Jim Florentine's career?
By the way, as Robin mentioned, I'm coming up with the Jim Master Jr.
What else you got?
You could not be bigger opposites, Robin. You're talking about galas after operas. That is not the Florentine I know.
What else you got?
Also today, Isaac Marks' last day at the Stern Show today after more than a decade here. The Howard TV producer said to be emotional as he prepares to say goodbye.
Aww.
I called Isaac at home the other day.
I missed his party.
I missed his party, but I called him, and for the first 5 minutes, he didn't believe it was me.
So you had to prove who you were? What do you use for proof?
I gave my code name. And then, and then I talked to him about how much he meant to me. And
That's nice.
That we're losing a big contributor to the show.
Isaac's a good guy.
Look at you being all human.
No.
I'm proud of you
Don't
again.
you accuse me of being human.
Howard,
Proud of you again.
if you
I
had
take
to
that as
make-
an insult.
If you could only make one phone call, would you have called Kenneth's mom or Isaac?
Oh,
I got to
that's
tell
not
you,
nice.
the call to Kenneth's mom was painful.
Yeah, that's hard.
That
It really
had to
was.
be difficult.
Isaac, yes, this is your last day.
This is my last day.
Good.
Aw.
Well, I'm not putting your mic on. But yeah, well, go ahead. You want to say something?
Yeah, no, I really didn't think it was you.
He did.
I kind of blew him off. He's like, "It's Howard Stern." I'm like, "Yeah, what's going on, Howard Stern?
Really?
How you doing?"
For 5 minutes? I mean, you work for the guy.
You know Howard's voice?
He has never called me before. He doesn't sound like himself on the phone. I don't know.
No
Well, I
compression.
called Isaac to tell him.
He was very upset
and
about you leaving.
I'll tell you that I am upset you're leaving. I consider you a member of the family. You're a very, very good guy personally. Professionally, you're a real delight to have around. You've made huge contributions to this program. For fans of Howard TV and going back to the E! Show, you were fabulous. He comes in with ideas.
I'll never forget
He's energetic.
that Jeff the Drunk contest where you had to be shackled to him. Isaac almost lost his mind during that show.
You all right, man? I heard they had to pull you off. You were getting so affected.
It was beyond reality.
You mean he can't do it anymore?
It was too real.
We took him off.
You're kidding.
You know how in Vietnam sometimes they had to pull you out?
Yeah, he's in shock.
We had to pull this kid out.
It was too traumatic.
You couldn't deal with it.
Saving Private Isaac.
You freaked out, I heard.
I was completely broken down mentally and physically.
Isaac will be a very difficult person to replace. And we do all here love you, Isaac, and we wish you the best at your new job.
Yep.
And your friends will still be here, even when they fire your ass from your new job. And they realize you should not be a vice president of anything. But in all seriousness, you will do great. You are someone that I consider to be trustworthy, and I appreciate all your efforts. And what can I say? I'm eternally grateful.
It's been a
Thank
pleasure.
you. Thank you.
You're terrific, Isaac, and good luck to you.
Thanks, guys. I
Now
don't have
say
much to
something
say.
back to
I have nothing to say.
Each one of us.
Say
What do you
something.
have to say to Fred? Go ahead.
Fred, I will cherish our times together at K-Rock when you used to run out of the room and call your wife to see how Tess was doing.
There you go.
That's something
was
that I
more
will
about-
always remember.
But that was more about my wife and my daughter.
Well, it was a part of your life that I got to see, and it was really.
Tell Fred how weird you think he is.
Fred, I don't know anything about you, Fred. No, you're a sweetheart,
You're a
Fred.
good man.
Artie, I consider you a friend.
Yes.
I don't know what you consider me. But,
I'm the only one who read your script in here. Remember that.
Oh, I read his script.
I wish you the best, and I'm genuinely concerned about you.
Oh, okay.
And I hope that I hope that your future, is
Thanks, bro.
you continue your
Filled with
success.
no heroin.
And I hope all the things that you've struggled with, you don't struggle with anymore.
Thanks. You're a good guy. You and your wife. I like these two guys.
Thank you.
Even though I slept through your wedding.
Howard,
At least you went.
I love how you
didn't
just you went right over Benji.
go. Don't say anything about Benji. Really. Don't. Get to me.
Howard,
Wait a minute, no, you should do me first.
I'm going counterclockwise.
Okay. Thank you.
Howard,
Go to Robin first. That's
yeah,
rude.
you should end with Howard.
Right.
Robin Quivers.
Yeah.
I've seen many different sides of you. and I love them all.
Aw.
And you're a sweetheart. And
The character Robin or the real?
Right, quickly, get to me.
I'm talking to the real Robin right now. And I wish everybody the best. And I wish you the best in your personal life. I wish you the best in your professional life.
All right,
and
hurry to me.
I hope I continue to see you.
I hope so too.
All right.
Howard,
Let's spend the
Stern,
bulk of your time on me. Go ahead.
I've learned a lot from you.
Of course you have.
And you might not know what that means, but it's important to me.
Oh, I know everything.
I watch you. I watch you, and I take in the way you are. I take in your commitment to this show.
Thank you.
The number one question that people ask me about you is, well, first of all, they ask me if you're a nice guy.
Thank you.
And I say that you are a nice guy.
I am a nice
And
guy.
they also ask me,
lie.
they also ask me, does he really work on the show?
No.
Like, what does he do?
No, it's the Howard Stern show, but I don't do any work on it.
Well, that's what
How could
people
that be?
think. No, that's what people think.
Well,
They think
there
that
are
you.
shows
What am I
like
doing
that.
now?
You get on the mic, and then when you're off the mic, you're gone. And I tell people that
That's true, sir.
I am.
Well, I sleep in my office.
I'm amazed at your commitment to this show.
Thank
and,
you.
And the main thing that I've learned from you is that if you want something to work, you have
Don't let Gary do it.
You have to. If you want something to work and be good, you have to nurture it,
Right.
and you have to really be close to it,
That's true.
and you have to work hard.
Thank you.
And that's what I've learned from you.
Thank you,
And
Isaac. And,
I appreciate you letting me be here for the last 10 years to see that.
well, this is what our phone conversation was like, and let me tell you, it was pure. It was brutal.
I'm impressed that he's no longer.
that you did this.
Isaac, when I first started here 7 years ago, was a definite wigger, and now he's not. And
You speak like a white man.
Yeah, the moment that changed is the Jeff Currow week. He came up to me and he said, "Art, it affected me," and he sounded white.
Listen, Isaac, congratulations on your new job, and good luck. And
Thanks, guys.
Don't let the door hit you on the ass.
Thank you. I love you guys.
I love you
We
too.
love
Thank you so
you
much.
I love you, Isaac.
Good luck.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.
there he goes. That's Isaac.
Our loss is Ketchum's gain.
Yeah.
A
Good luck.
really good guy.
Isaac, man, this is the end of your big run with the Howard Stern show.
Yeah, this is it. This is it.
How was that? Seemed like it was kind of
touching.
tough for you.
It's not tough, but it's tough to say. It's tough to kind of see people for the last time and go through the motions for the last time. So hopefully I will continue to see people. I'll just be moving on to another job, and I just wish everybody the most success they can have. I wish everybody success. I want everybody to do well.
So it's kind of like a bittersweet ending, right?
Totally. You know, I'm
You hate
moving on
to leave, but
I'm moving on to something else, and I'm leaving a really good thing behind. But it's something that I have to do, and you know, it is what it is. And I love this show. I love the people on this show, and it means a lot to me. And it means a lot to me that I'm going out on a good note, and the things that people have to say about me are touching, and you know, I'm touched. I'm touched.
All right, Isaac. Good luck with everything.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I know. I can't take it. I'm not.
This guy gone yet? Jesus Christ, leave already. How many farewells do we need? How many farewells do we need with this guy? Go. Like your hair, leave.
Come here. Come here, man. This is important.
This guy's a good man. Really made my children feel comfortable. Real special moment. One of the most memorable days.
Daddy, he's talking about Daddy.
Daddy or Dummy, and Isaac came in and he sat my kids and he made them feel so comfortable, and he was really good. He was really genuine man, sincere.
Keep touch, right?
I will, buddy. I will.
I wish you the best with the wife, kids.
Thank you.
I'll see you around. I'll see you around. Good luck to you too, pal. Thanks.
Take care of yourself. Good riddance.
Hey, old man.
See?
Hey.
Right over. Look. What's with the old man shit, okay? You know? Everybody in there is just as old as I am. Just remember that.
Come here.
You don't ever say that shit to them.
Come here.
God.
I love you, you crazy motherfucker.
What is this, man? What is he going gay because he's leaving?
I love you.
But there was always rumors that he was gay. Remember? You remember those rumors?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Remember back in K-Rock?
Oh yeah.
There was always rumors.
Yeah.
I'm going to say everything no one
Look
wants
at
to
it. It's
say.
like father and son here. Look at this.
I'm going to say
great.
I'm going to say everything no one wants to say. Isaac is nothing but a pain in the ass. He gets everybody pissed off. and they all hate him. But we love him.
It's part of
That
my
wasn't me,
job.
not me.
It's part of my
No,
job.
Not me. He only does it to be perfect. And he's perfect, see?
Well, you're so well spoken. That was really well put.
See, he's a pain in my ass.
I love it. I love it, man.
Take care of yourself, Isaac.
What a miss.
We'll miss you, man. Seriously.
Tim Savian,
Let me grab your package.
Oh!
Thank you.
Come on, let's rev hits.
I love this
guy
guy.
rolls.
I love this guy. He's the man.
He's the man.
I love you, Clarence.
How cute.
I love you,
I missed you lunch, Isaac. I really
Well,
didn't mean
It's
to.
going to be a strange place to be here without you. Yeah, so. Oh, shut up.
She forgot your lunch.
No, I didn't
told her.
forget your lunch. It was that you didn't remind me.
I agree with her. She's right. You did not remind her.
You didn't remind me before I left. I would have changed everything. But I didn't get the message until after you guys were done.
She's got too much fruit juice on the brain. She's like.
So I really felt horrible that day because I was already. You guys probably were gone by the time I got the message because I just went immediately to the gym. That's all I did.
Jim Florentine?
No.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Best of luck in the future. Let's not be strangers, okay?
Definitely not.
Strongest hugs. Squeezing the air out of me.
Definitely not. But let's exchange numbers.
Okay. I think I already have her number. She just never picks her phone up. Come on in, come in. Howard TV viewers, thank you for watching. Thank you for your feedback. And I'm honored to have been able to have been a part of this for so long.
All right, Isaac. Good luck at your new job, man. We'll miss you.
Thanks, man. Bye, guys.
So this kid who works for us, Isaac, some white kid, he was so stoked. He's worked for us for 2 years, never said a word to us. But he was
Never
so
wanted to meet anybody.
Yeah, he was so stoked that DMX was coming in that he said, "Can I rap with DMX?" I said, "Well, I don't know if the guy will rap with you, but you can rap for him." He goes, "Okay." Where is he? I hear if you interrupt him in the middle of a rap, he gets really angry. But, oh, so you're Isaac.
Raps?
This guy raps. Isaac.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with me rapping?
You just don't look like a rapper at all.
What is it, against the law or something?
Yeah, what's a rapper look like? Come on, you know.
Like DMX.
Not like you.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you.
I guess I'm not
kid?
Yeah, I'm a Jewish kid.
You're a Jewish kid, a white Jewish kid who raps?
You got it.
Where'd you grow up that you were into?
I grew up in the suburbs.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Where?
Full of pain. Jersey, Marlboro.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of rappers who come from Marlboro.
Yeah.
There are, actually.
And what were you going to do? I heard you were so happy that
I was pretty
DMX was coming.
excited.
You love this guy.
Yeah, I really have a lot of respect for the guy.
For DMX.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're a big rap fan.
Still have
Huge
respect
rap
for
fan.
him
Huge.
now that he hasn't shown up?
Yeah, I do, definitely. I mean, you know, he's his own guy, you know.
Right. He's definitely his own
He
man.
can, you know.
He can what?
He's like out there. He can't be like confined and stuff, so.
He's what?
He can't be confined, that's all.
Maybe he just woke up today and want to come. I don't know.
Yo, man. You don't even...
Yeah, what's up, what's up?
Yeah, So when you rap, do you take on the black affect? Do you do that?
Oh, I guess a little bit, yeah.
Yo.
And how did you?
I gotta hear it.
And how did you learn this affect? In other words, growing up in the suburbs, there aren't too many black kids probably in your school.
That's pretty true, yeah.
So you would listen to the records and go like, yo, what's up? Would you do an impression?
No, I mean, I was listening to rap since I was like 12, 13, and you just kind of get immersed in it, you know?
Right.
Just like somebody would listen to rock and want to be like a guitar player or want to be a rocker.
But they don't
you know?
affect an accent.
Do you ever?
Well, I mean, I would liken it to like a white guy sounding like a Rasta guy. You know, like you've heard like white guys sound like Bob Marley or something like that.
So when you do your rap, you don't sound like a white guy. You take on the black.
I sound like myself. I mean.
Right. But do you ever, when you're talking, do you ever become like a black guy?
Sometimes,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, you know, like
Definitely.
you know what I mean. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
do?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. It's something I kind of just like, you know, it's in the back of your head. And
now, many people at the station were shocked to learn that you are a rap star because...
I'm not a star. I'm not a star.
Why not?
Yo. He is now.
He is now. He's on the radio. They were shocked by this because you seem so mild-mannered and stuff. Is there any... this is a bit of a surprise there, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty low-key, you know, that's how I like to stay, but
right. Would you
when
like...
the time
You're
comes...
on the DL.
When the time... Exactly, I'm on the down low.
And Isaac, do you have a rap name?
Yeah, Speed.
Speed?
Yeah.
What do you say?
Does he rap fast?
No, it's more like my personality. It's,
an
I mean, I can rap fast, but it's like most of the time I'm really slow, and then it's
well,
like
I know like when I used to do Speed when I was in college, I would grip my teeth and my eyes would bug out of my head Maybe that's when people meet you, they grit their teeth and their eyes bug out of their head.
No, it was given to me because I'm like two moods. I'm really slow and really fast.
Right.
Most of the E-guys will tell you that they've only seen the slow side of me.
Right. So when you rap now, what is this rap about that you're going to do here?
It's just about life, you know.
About life. Okay.
About life.
Now I understand if you're
write
interrupted.
these things yourself.
Yeah. Totally.
I understand if you get interrupted, you get very upset because these words mean something to you.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean,
Benji interrupted him in the middle of a rap, and he said, "Listen,
Is Benji still with us?
Yeah.
Benji. The problem with Benji was I busted a rap for him, and he started like interrogating me about the lyrics.
Yeah, well, he wants to know what they mean, I guess.
Oh, I don't have to explain them to him.
All right, go ahead. All right, do a little. What is this called? This rap?
Well, it's part. Do you want me to rap now? So I guess DMX is totally.
He's not
happy.
He's not happy.
Here.
I know. I was going to let you rap to DMX or with him or whatever, but unfortunately, he's not coming in.
All right. This is from. I guess I'll do it. This is from a song called Lies. It's just an excerpt from a song.
All right.
All right.
But this is not your song.
No, it is my song.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's my song.
All right.
All right. Here we go. Yo, it's hard in the city when trying to catch paper, looking up at skyscrapers, wondering if I ever make a man out of myself. Give my dad back some wealth. He's worrying so hard it's damaging his health. And stealth bombers is flying over Iraq, wondering if I have a pack on my back, a gun in my lap, running from blasts up in foreign soil. Say it's government turmoil when it's all about the oil and I'm feeling full. Cause haters is acting spoiled. They get mad when I'm chilling with strippers and Riga Royal. I'm about to boil. I'm exploded with emotions, thinking of a lethal potion hit the government with. They took my taxes in this and what they using it for. So political whores can wage partisan wars till I look at my door and see a woman on the street with her knees on the floor. She got her head to the sky. I see tears in her eyes as she asks God why. She gotta try not to die. You don't smell of lies.
What are you saying?
I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
I'm not done. I'm trying to live. I'm living day to day. Trying to find a way out depression. Empty pockets has got me stressing. Learned a lesson. When you ain't got no dough, no one rolls with you. And then when you get paid, they're all over you. I told you, I'm here to set your mind free. Pay attention, my invention to release the wild beast. Bring out love. Inside the heart of a thug, fill a killer's eyes with blood, cause the truth is a drug. I started a bug. 9 to 5 didn't suit me, so I had to be set free. Now I'm running on empty. Well, I'm making this rap game for certain. Keep my eyes on the prize and realize you can't be jerked in. Put your work in, pay your dues and wreck it. Sing the blues. Two choices, take me and respect it. Either way, I'ma do what I know. Speak for my soul. I might lose control if you doubt my flow. And yo, mad respect to DMX and everybody on the corner trying to cop a chrome Lex. One thing's for certain in this life of mine. Never know when I'll pull the curtains in this life of mine. So until that time, for real, I'm going all out. You try to take my ish, I'll take your effing jaw.
Well, let me ask you something. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a talent.
Speed, baby, speed. Remember the name.
And how long you been working for us?
2 years.
How do we get rid of this guy?